Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start lesson 1 of Islamiyat, that is related to the content of paper to rightly guided caliphs, and the topic is Hazrat Usman. The main points that we will cover in this lesson are elections of Hazrat Usman, main events during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman, and the policies of Hazrat Usman. So these three important points will be covered in today's lesson. So let's start from the very first point, election of Hazrat Usman. Students, as you know that Hazrat Umar, when he was on his deathbed, he formed a committee of 6 people to choose the next caliph from amongst themselves. The members of this committee were Hazrat Ali, Hazrat Usman, Hazrat Abdurrahman bin Auf, Hazrat Saad bin Abi Waqas, Hazrat Zubair, and Hazrat Talha. So with the mutual decision of these companions, Hazrat Usman was selected as a third caliph for Islamic State. After assuming his caliphate, they were the main events during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman. Let's start from these main events. The most important event during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman was the compilation of Quran. As you know that during the caliphate of Hazrat Umar, many people embraced Islam from the non-Arab areas. So when Hazrat Huzaifa bin Yaman, a prominent companion of Holy Prophet, he went on jihad and he noticed the difference of pronunciation of non-Arabs in reciting the Holy Quran. So he reported this issue to Hazrat Usman, who at once took the Quran, which was in the custody of Hazrat Hafsa, the mother of faithful, and with the help of Abdullah bin Zubair and Saad bin As, he made the fresh copies with correct pronunciation and sent them to non-Arab areas. And obviously the old copies of the Quran were burnt so that there won't be any confusion related to the recitation of Quran. So it was a great duty. It was a great event, in fact, during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman. And because of this fulfillment of this great duty, Hazrat Usman was called Jamil Quran. Another important event during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman was the conquest in the east and west. Though Hazrat Usman was a man of kind heart, but still he proved to be a wise commander and caliph, and he took quick action and sent the Muslim army to the different areas, especially the areas that are located in the north of Africa. So he conquered the vast areas for Islamic State. Many countries were captured by Hazrat Usman, like Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, island of Cyprus, and these all areas, they are located at the north of Africa. This was the second great achievement of Hazrat Usman, that he captured all these areas. He not only captured these areas, but he also established Islamic State in these areas. Now, I want to make clear this point with the help of the map. This is a map of Africa, and these encircled countries that are located at the north of Africa, like Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco, all these areas were captured by Hazrat Usman during his caliphate, and these areas are present at the north of Africa. Not only these areas, but the island of Cyprus, it was also captured by Hazrat Usman, and Islamic State was established in this island of Cyprus. This island is also present, in fact, at the north of Africa. So that's why we say that the countries, the areas that were captured by Hazrat Usman, they are present at the north of Africa. So this important island of Cyprus, it was also captured by Hazrat Usman during his caliphate. Yes, another country from Europe, it was also captured, like Spain. So this area was captured by Hazrat Usman and Islamic State was established here. As we discussed that these conquests were in the east and west. Now the countries that are present in the east, they were also captured by Hazrat Usman during his caliphate, like the very first one is an area that is known as by the name now Afghanistan. Then another area that was captured by Hazrat Usman, Azerbaijan, and another area that was captured by Hazrat Usman is Turkey. So all these areas like Afghanistan, Azerbaijan and Turkey, they were captured by Hazrat Usman and Islamic State was established in these areas. This was one of the greatest achievement of Hazrat Usman because he conquered these areas. He not only conquered these areas, but he maintained those victories that was done by Hazrat Abu Bakr and Hazrat Umar. Another major event in the caliphate of Hazrat Usman was Islamization abroad. As we discussed earlier, that a lot of the areas in the north of Africa and Europe and in the east, they were captured by Hazrat Usman and they were made the part of Islamic State. So he not only captured these areas, but these areas were made the part of Islamic State. Hazrat Usman exercised the system of justice in these areas. He preached Islam in these conquered areas, so many people they accepted Islam. And he also gave the religious liberty to the non-Muslim in positive atmosphere so that the people may accept Islam by being impressed by the Islamic policies that were established by Hazrat Usman. So these were the three major events during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman, like compilation of Quran, the conquest in the east and west, and Islamization abroad. Now moving to the last point of today's lesson, policies of Hazrat Usman. The first and most important policy of Hazrat Usman was administrative changes. Hazrat Usman brought some administrative changes in some areas, like he combined some provinces and districts which had harmony of culture and traditions, like Jordan and Palestine. These two areas were united into one province named Syria. And Syria was very important from the trade point of view and from military point of view. So this was the first and most important policy of Hazrat Usman, that he brought the administrative changes. And the basic purpose behind the combination of these different areas was so that these areas may be administrated well, without any riots, without any anarchy, and without any problem. So it was really very useful that he brought the administrative changes during his caliphate. Another one was division of power. In order to improve the administration, Hazrat Usman divided power. He took the power of the police head from the provincial head and established a new department of police. Like he took the power of police head from Hazrat Amr bin As and appointed Hazrat Abdullah bin Sara as police officer. So he developed a separate department of police so that there may be a smooth working of any department. Now, the welfare of state. Hazrat Usman Ghani started several programs for the welfare of state and people. He made sure that these programs were really useful for the people. He constructed new buildings in the provinces and district. He built a network of bridges, roads, highways, mosques, police posts, and inns. He dug the well for supplying water to the city of Medina. And not only this, he also built embankments to save Medina from floods. He extended the mosque of the Holy Prophet. And it is also said that he increased the salaries of the military soldiers so that they may fulfill their duties properly. Cantonments were also made for army. So the purpose of all these welfare activities was to create the positive atmosphere in Islamic State, and it was really very helpful. Another important policy of Hazrat Usman was the improvement of religious services. Hazrat Usman sent many scholars and teachers of Islam to the different tribes, cities, and villages. Not only this, he himself preached to the prisoner of war. He was a great missionary of Islam at that time. He himself used to teach the people the difference between lawful and unlawful. The greatest of the service he performed during his caliphate was the preparation of the different copies of the Quran and sending them to the different part of Islamic empire. And that's why he is called the Jamil Quran, mean the collector of Holy Quran. So another important policy of Hazrat Usman was the establishment of naval force, and the purpose behind the establishment of the naval force was to improve the defense of Islamic State. He established the naval forces. Hazrat Muawiyah bin Abu Sufyan, the governor of Syria, he established a naval force with the permission of Hazrat Usman, and it proved really very helpful because of the naval force of Usman and Amir Muawiyah. They got succeeded in defeating the Romans, who had total control over the seas and conquered Cyprus. So the victory in the Cyprus and even in the north of Africa was possible just because of the establishment of the naval forces. Another one was the continuity of victories. Former caliphs, they left 2.4 million square miles wild state. And as we have already discussed, that many areas from east and west, they were captured by Hazrat Usman. Islamic State extended. Islam spread to the north of Africa, in Europe, as the area that is known as Spain. It was captured, and the areas in the east like Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey, these areas were captured. So Hazrat Usman maintained the victories that have already been done by the former caliphs like Hazrat Abu Bakr and Hazrat Umar. So in today's lesson, we have learned about the election of Hazrat Usman, the main events of Hazrat Usman, and the policies of Hazrat Usman. Now the task that the students you have to complete is a 4-mark evaluative question. Keeping in view the welfare policies of Hazrat Usman, briefly describe the lesson for Muslims rulers today. As I told you that in this question you need to give the examples from everyday life, from your current issues. You cannot mention the policies of Hazrat Usman again in your lesson, because the policies and all these things, they are mentioned in part A, that is descriptive question, but this is not a descriptive question, this is evaluative question. So in this evaluative question you just need to mention the lesson that, and this lesson should only be related to rulers, what the ruler should do, keeping in view the policies, the welfare policies of Hazrat Usman. So inshallah, in the next lesson we will discuss about the problems and the challenges that Hazrat Usman faced during his caliphate. Thank you and have a nice day.